There is a specific moment, usually in the darkness of the bedroom, that creates one of the loneliest feelings a woman can experience. You are physically together. Skin is touching. Your breath is mingling. The sexual act is happening or about to happen. But when you lean in, seeking that contact, that seals the union, that touch that transforms the biological into the emotional, he turns his head. Or he gives you a quick, dry, perfunctory peck. Or worse, he continues the mechanical act, completely ignoring your attempt at connection. You stay there, paralyzed for a fraction of a second. Your mind begins to race. Do I have bad breath? Does he not like the way I kiss? Does he not love me anymore? This is the dissonance that silently destroys your self-esteem. How is it possible for someone to want your body, use your intimacy, moan and seek pleasure through you, yet refuse the most basic act of human tenderness? Many survivors report that, over time, the sexual relationship with a narcissist begins to feel like something performative or purely hygienic to them. Sex exists, but the soul has left the room, and the most glaring sign of this absence is the death of the kiss. If you've ever felt like you were having sex with a stranger, or if you felt used immediately after the act because there was no hug, no deep kiss that says, "I am here with you," this video is the answer you've been looking for. In this video, we are not going to talk about sexual preferences. We are going to understand once and for all why the narcissist doesn't like to kiss. My name is Lauren Mitchell. My purpose with this channel is to show you that the problem was never you, and more importantly, that you are not alone. Access the link in the description to check out my ebook. No video or random explanation compares to this material. Here you will find for the first time a complete, organized, and supportive guide about the narcissistic partner. If you suspect you've lived through this, or are still trying to understand it years later, this is the step that finally changes everything. Let's validate what you've been through, because this is a pain that is often swept under the rug. No one talks about it openly. You might have mentioned it to a friend. Oh, he's just not much of a kisser, trying to justify it, trying to normalize the unacceptable. In the beginning, during love bombing, it's likely he did kiss, and he kissed a lot. That movie-style kiss, captivating, making you feel like the most desired woman in the world. But it is crucial that you understand. At that moment, the kiss was not an exchange of affection. It was bait. It was a mirroring tool. He was giving you exactly what you wanted in order to capture you. However, as the mask falls and the devaluation phase begins, the kiss is the first thing to disappear. Why? Because the kiss is the sexual act that offers the least purely egoic supply and demands the most giving. The relationship begins to take on a strange dynamic. He may be demanding in bed, ask for specific positions, want sex frequently, or even introduce more aggressive practices. But notice the subtlety. Everything he asks for or does focuses on his satisfaction or visual performance. He wants to see, he wants to feel, he wants to dominate. French kissing, that long kiss with eyes closed, requires a synchrony that the narcissist abhors. When you try to kiss him and he dodges, or kisses you in a dead way, lips still, no energy, as if he's doing you a favor, the message his body is sending is, "I am here for what you provide, not for who you are." You start to feel like a human masturbation sleeve. It's a strong expression, I know, but it is exactly how many victims describe the feeling. You feel like you could be anyone else there, that your body is interchangeable. And this feeling isn't all in your head. It is the reality of his psyche projected onto you. This refusal to kiss creates an abyss. You try to compensate by being more attractive, more available, more perfect in bed, thinking that if you are good enough, the intimacy will return. But it doesn't come back, because the problem was never your technique or your attractiveness. The problem lies in the function that the kiss plays in the human psyche, and the terror it causes a narcissist. Here we enter the first deep layer of the narcissistic psyche. To understand why he doesn't kiss, we need to understand what the kiss represents biologically and psychologically. A deep kiss is an act of fusion. When two people kiss passionately, the boundaries of the ego momentarily dissolve. You lose track of where you end and the other begins. There is an exchange of breath, of fluids, of rhythm. It is a dance of equality. To a narcissist, equality is an existential threat. The narcissist operates under a rigid hierarchy of power. He needs to be above, in control, untouchable. The kiss requires him to step down from his pedestal and blend with you. It requires vulnerability. And for this personality, vulnerability is synonymous with weakness and the risk of annihilation. Think about eye contact. During an intimate kiss, there is often that moment where the eyes open briefly, or the moment immediately before and after, where you look deeply into your partner's eyes. This is the look of the soul. Deep down, the narcissist knows that his self is a hollow construct. He is terrified that if you look too closely, if you get too close emotionally through that kiss, you will see that there is nobody home. You will see the void. So, he avoids the kiss to protect his own mask. It is an unconscious defense against invasion. Kissing you would mean having to feel what you feel. It would mean synchronous empathy. And since his empathy is cognitive, cold, and not effective, kissing becomes hard work, a tiring performance that he prefers to avoid. Now that he has already won you over, he prefers sexual positions where he doesn't have to look at your face. He prefers quick sex, where the focus is friction and relief. The kiss forces him to be present in the moment, and the narcissist is rarely present. He is always in his own head, calculating, fantasizing, or judging. The kiss would bring him into the reality of human connection, and reality is the place he avoids most. Let's go deeper with the second pillar, radical objectification. For the narcissist, the people in his life are objects, or extensions, that serve a purpose. They categorize people by function: the one who provides money, the one who provides status, the one who takes care of the house, and the one who provides sex. Imagine you have a toaster in your kitchen. You like the toaster. It makes great toast. You use it every morning, but you don't hug the toaster. You don't French kiss the toaster and tell it you love it deeply while looking into its eyes. That would be absurd, right? Because the toaster is an object with a function. It is painful to hear this, but in the disordered mind of the narcissist, during the devaluation phase, you have become that appliance. Sex for him is a physiological function or a form of self-esteem regulation. He needs the orgasm to relieve anxiety, or he needs to feel like a stud capable of making you reach your peak. But the kiss humanizes. The kiss is the act that transforms the object into a subject. If he kisses you with passion, he is forced to acknowledge your humanity, your individuality, and this creates an internal conflict for him. If you are a complete person with feelings and needs, then he cannot use you without guilt. To use you without remorse, he needs to keep you in the category of an object. This is why, often, he might kiss other parts of your body, but avoids your mouth. Kissing your neck, breasts, or other areas can be part of the sexual technique, part of using the object, but the mouth is the door to communication and the soul. Sealing lips is sealing a pact of intimacy. By denying your mouth, he maintains the barrier. I use your body, but I do not connect with your being. This also explains why they can cheat so easily, and often report that sex with mistresses is wild, but devoid of real kisses, or purely performative. They are consuming bodies. We have reached the most insidious and cruel pillar, operant conditioning and the withholding of affection. The narcissist is a master observer. He studies you. He knows from the beginning that you value connection, affection, and romance. He knows that kissing is important for you to feel loved and secure, precisely because he knows it is important to you. He withdraws it. This is a power tactic. If he gives you everything you want, he feels he loses control over you. He believes that if you are satisfied and secure, you will leave him or stop trying so hard to please him. In his distorted logic, your insecurity is the guarantee of his loyalty. By denying the kiss, he puts you in a state of emotional hunger. You become starved for that validation. And what does a starving person do? They accept any crumb. They work twice as hard. You start working for the kiss. You dress up more. You give in more to his whims. You walk on eggshells so as not to irritate him, hoping that if the environment is perfect, he will kiss you. He uses the kiss, or the lack of it, as a micro-punishment. Maybe you questioned him about something earlier that day. Maybe you asked him to help with chores. He won't fight openly about it during sex. He will punish you by withdrawing intimacy. He has sex with you because he wants the pleasure, but he doesn't kiss you to show that you are not worthy of his affection. It is a way of saying without words, you serve to satisfy my biological needs, but you do not deserve my love. This withholding creates an addictive cycle in your brain. When he eventually gives you a half-hearted kiss or a moment of affection, Your brain releases excessive dopamine because the reward was unexpected and rare. This keeps you trapped, addicted to the possibility that the man from the beginning, the one who kissed you passionately, is still there, hidden behind this coldness. But he isn't hiding. The coldness is who he is. The passionate kiss at the beginning was the fantasy he sold. The refusal to kiss now is the reality he delivers. Now that we have decoded these three pillars, the fear of vulnerability, the objectification of your body, and punishment through control, you can look at this situation with new eyes. I know it hurts. Rejection in intimacy is one of the deepest wounds because it directly attacks our femininity and our sense of self-worth. But the shift happens when you realize that his closed mouth has nothing to do with your desirability. He doesn't stop kissing you because you aren't attractive. He doesn't stop kissing you because you are a bad kisser. He doesn't kiss because he is incapable of sustaining the humanity that a kiss demands. The kiss is the language of beings who surrender. The narcissist is a being who withholds. He is locked inside his own fortress of fear and ego, and no one gets in. Not even you. Don't try to earn that kiss. Don't try to perform to be worthy of a touch of the lips that is real. Understand that seeking deep intimacy with someone who has no depth is like trying to get water from a stone. You will only come away hurt and thirsty. Clarity is your superpower now. Next time he turns his head, don't internalize it as, I am not enough. Look at the situation and see the truth. He is incapable. And that incapacity is not your problem to solve. Your dignity does not depend on the validation of someone who is afraid to feel. You deserve a kiss that isn't a performance, but a promise. And that kiss can only come from someone who has the courage to be real. Feel free to leave your story, your venting, or even a suggestion for the next video's theme in the comments below. Access the link in the description to check out my ebook and the benefits of being a member of this channel. Click on the suggested video on the screen to continue with me, and remember, you are light. Never forget to shine.